Today on this 1997 Jeep Cherokee, we're going to install part number 13084 from Curt. First, we're going to go ahead and show you how the hitch looks like on the vehicle. Next, we're going to give you some measurements to help you out in selecting accessories such as a ball mount, a bicycle rack, or a cargo carrier. First off, from the top of the receiver tube down to the ground is going to be 15 5/8 inches. And from the center of the hitch pin to the outside edge of the bumper is going to be 5 inches. Next, we'll go ahead and show you how it got installed. Before you start on the vehicle, you want to take a look at the frame because there's 3 different variations. The first variation is going to be like what we see here. It's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 holes that are empty, nothing inside. That's one of the more common options, and you'll have that on both sides of the vehicle just like that. Now the second option is you're going to have the same driver's side frame rail open like this, but on the passenger side you're going to have a bar inside with some threaded weld nuts. You can see the threaded weld nuts 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one is being used by the muffler hanger. Now, on this particular vehicle, this is the most common because we have a blank on the driver's side, threaded holes on the passenger side. The third version is threaded holes on both sides, which is pretty rare, so chances are you probably won't run into that. So since we're here on the passenger side, let's go ahead and start cleaning out the threads. Since this is an older vehicle, you're going to have to take some time out to clean out the threads really good. We'll start off by spraying some lubricant in there and using a wire brush to clean out the threads. And that brush is part number 814092. Next, we're going to do is take one of the hitch bolts and thread it into place. Run it in and back it out a few times until you run the bolt all the way through. Once you have one of the threads cleaned out, go ahead and do the same thing with the remaining threads. Now the kit comes with 2 different style bolts. You'll notice that the one bolt has numbers, and that's for the metric threads. On the threads we just cleaned out, it's going to use this bolt for metric. The other bolt with 3 marks on it, that's a SAE bolt. This one will be used with the hardware that comes with the hitch, but on anything that's going onto threads that are already existing in the vehicle is going to be the metric ones. So if you have a hard time threading a bolt in, just double check to make sure you have the right bolt and the right application. Alright, now our hitch is going to use this existing bolt in the frame that's already in place being used by the muffler hanger. So we're going to remove the muffler hanger temporarily to install the hitch. Alright, now back over to the driver's side frame rail, we're going to start installing our hardware. What's going to happen is this bolt right here and this block is going to be installed inside the frame. And when we install these, we want to make sure that the block sits like this inside the frame, or it sits perfectly flat. And you make sure you have room for, we're going to have one here, you have plenty of room, and on this one we're going to orient the block on the inside like this. We'll use an included bolt leader, and we're going to push it through the hole we're going to use. We're going to push it out back towards the end of the frame where there's an opening. Take our block, we'll go ahead and push into the frame. Make sure you put it in the frame the way you want it to end up at the inside of the frame when we're done. We'll thread on the bolt. Push the whole assembly through, and we're going to pull it down in position. And you know you have it right if the bolt is vertical straight down. If it's a little bit at an angle like this, then you know you got something wrong. The block is sitting too close to this side. So make sure it sits vertical and you're good to go. Okay, we'll go ahead and repeat the same process for these 2 holes here. Okay. You can see in this oval hole how the block is sitting. You don't want that, so we're going to have to go ahead and just use a screwdriver, poke it around and orient it the right way. Okay, on to the next one. This hole here is going to use a different fastener, but it's best to install that after we have the hitch installed on these 3 bolts. Okay, at this point we can start lifting the hitch in position. Now it's a good idea to have an extra set of hands to help hold it up and do this. Alright, now the fastener towards the very end of the frame is going to use an extra flat washer. And then 2 middle bolts will get just a bolt and a lock washer. And we'll reuse the factory nut and install the factory bracket back into place going towards the front of the vehicle. Okay, we're going to leave everything loose. Let's go over to the driver's side and finish up the fasteners over there. These 3 bolts right here will get just the flange nuts. Okay, now this fastener here is going to get the hex bolt with the 3 marks on it, and a small block. We're going to put it into place. That will only get just a flange nut also. It's easier to line up 3 bolts instead of 4 when you put the hitch up. That's why we leave this last. Okay, with everything started, we can go ahead and snug down the hitch and then torque it down as specified in the instructions. And with all the bolts torqued down, that'll finish it for our install. And there you have part number 13084 on this 1997 Jeep Cherokee.